About this time. In the meantime, we're waiting on the top of the hour. The Toyota president and CEO of Kia Toyota appears before the House Oversight Committee. It's been rough going so far for some of the company executives trying to apologize for past and current safety issues and explain exactly what went wrong, which has been tricky.
We have looked into the electronics, and based on the testing that we've done in Japan and now Exponent, that you saw the initial response from their testing, we continue to test the ETCS in Japan, as well as now what Exponent is doing, and we have not found a malfunction. It doesn't mean that we stop.
So is Toyota getting a fair shake in these hearings? Al Lewis is a columnist for Dow Jones. He's got some issues with this hearing. An auto industry expert, Lauren Fix, feels otherwise. Al's out in Denver, and Lauren's up in Buffalo, New York. Good morning to both of you. Is Toyota getting a raw deal, Al? What do you think about that?
Good morning. It's got to be humiliating to be dragged before Congress for your failings. Congress is the house of failings. They haven't accomplished anything. We are in the worst shape we've ever been as a nation in my lifetime. We've got unresolved wars. We've got piling up national debt. We've got an economic crisis that continues. And this is how they're spending their time, beating up on Toyota. This is a very small problem here. We've had 2,000 complaints in a decade against a backdrop of millions and millions of cars sold. Toyota has done everything that they could.
I hear your point. Let me come back to that in a moment. Lauren, does he have a point?
Well, sure, we've got a lot of problems in government. There's no question about that. But what we do have is a safety problem that's affecting consumers, affecting voters, and that's where they're starting to see that we've got to do something. When you've got two ex-NHTSA employees convincing the government that floor mats are the problem for unintended acceleration, which is absolutely absurd and at best, and you're talking about all these complaints, and Toyota's got 3 times more deaths with this unintended acceleration than any other manufacturer combined. We've got a problem here. When they're saying 70% of the cars that have unintended acceleration aren't even listed on any of these recalls, I'm concerned. People are concerned. I'm getting tons of emails of people that are concerned. This has to be addressed, and it's not a witch hunt out on Toyota.
Al's point is that, correct me if I'm wrong, Al, I'll go ahead and let you take the stage on this, is that there are other recalls that have been carried out in the past that have not led to incidents like these. However, I mean, what do? Do you give Toyota a pass? I mean, you have to address it somehow, don't you?
But listen, Toyota doesn't have a clear handle on this problem, right? We've got none of the explanations that are coming from Toyota are all that good. But you know what? None of the explanations that are coming from NHTSA or are coming from the drivers are all that good either. You know, some of these, it's going to turn out, are going to be due to the fact that somebody hit the gas pedal instead of the brake. And I hate to say what no one else wants to say, but it's true. These sort of things have been researched before, and operator error is one of the possible causes. You know, Toyota's doing everything possible that it can. We've had 39 highway fatalities that are linked to this. I don't know what the word link actually means and how thoroughly these have all been investigated. We have 2,000 complaints. I mean, there's 2,000 complaints about McDonald's over 10 years. This whole thing has blown horribly out of proportion. We're going to have Mr. Toyota just getting beat and whipped today by a bunch of congressmen who can't really solve any problems, so all they can do is really yell at a guy. And, you know, we've seen what happens to executives when they go before Congress in the past. Nothing. Nothing. They just get humiliated for a day, and life moves on. Congress and NHTSA and our government isn't fit to solve this problem.
Have we lost our sense of proportion on this story?
No, we haven't. I mean, we have 125 engineers on the NHTSA side that dropped the ball and didn't do their job when they were told well more than 6 months ago, almost 10 years ago, that there were problems with unintended acceleration. So you're going to look at what the government's position is on this. The Secretary of Transportation's job is to protect consumers. And, of course, they can't protect everyone, and there are unintended accelerations, and there are people that do stupid things on the roads every day. We all see it. But what we do have a problem is when a manufacturer makes a mistake, they have to own up to it, and it's up to them to either make the recall or go through the 3-step process that NHTSA has put in place. And in this case, it didn't happen. So that's why they're doing this committee. Now, why they're being all so nice and organized and attacking in the way they are is because it's an election year, and no one wants to look like a fool, especially after that last poll you just showed on Rasmussen. If they're down as far as with the consumers looking at them, they want to make the consumer happy. But on a brighter note for you as the consumer, you need a safer car.
We will see where this goes at the top of the hour and where today's hearing leads us. By the way, NHTSA is the national agency that's run by the government that's supposed to figure this stuff out initially. And apparently that wasn't done, at least in time for a lot of the debate that we're having today. Lauren, thank you for coming back on today. Now, thanks to you as well.
Anytime.
This debate will be continued because the hearing continues at the top of the hour. What do you think? Log on to our website, foxnews.com. Click on the You Decide link. Take our survey. We asked this question today. Who's to blame for the safety scandal? 25,000 votes to date. 45% say Toyota and federal regulators are to blame. You can log on and vote right now, foxnews.com.
All right. Well,